Everyone. Namaste. Welcome to Light, Laughter, and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt. I'm an Avesa quantum healer, medical intuitive, self-ascension intuitive counselor, and your host for Light, Laughter, and Lattes. So it has been a little bit since I've had a show. So much has happened. I've been to Egypt. I've been up in the Andes Mountains in Ecuador for the equinox, and I had so much going on. And now we've just had this fabulous solar eclipse that has brought in the new. Are you all feeling the new? So here I am back again and glad to be here. If someone is in the chat or someone is watching right now via Facebook or YouTube, can you please let me know if you can hear me okay? I'm not so sure if I set things up correctly this time. A few things changed for me, so that would be awesome. And if you are listening via Oneness Talk Radio, Facebook, or YouTube, or else my Facebook page, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We're in a profound creation energy right now. The new moon came together with this solar eclipse, and the solar eclipse is like a ring of fire, right? Fire is transmutation energy. So it was there to transmute anything that was unlike whatever your dream was. So if you were actively putting your dream into the world of who you wanted to be, how you want to do it, what you want it to look like, that ring of fire was there to help transmute anything unlike that was stopping it. And so now we're in this active field right now of, well, now that you put out there your dreams of creation, now you need to take the action steps to really solidify it, to bring it into this dimension, to bring it into form. Thank you, Jason. I'm glad you responded. Great. And so watch the clues that you're being given, right? You'll when you call in something or command something or focus your energy around something, you will start getting feedback from the universe. You know, it might be a text message from someone. It might be something you're called to look at or read, or a billboard you just happen to notice, right? And so those clues are going to be helping you to tell you what you need to do right now to get your creation or your manifestations into motion. And that's really what the rest of this October is about, is active creation, putting these things into motion, taking action on it. Okay, so now for the topic of the day, which is it's not about what happens to you, it's how you move through what happens to you. And if you're on the path of ascension or enlightenment or internal healing, or just saying yes to the truth of who you are, your higher nature, growth, any of those things, you will constantly be given challenges, because every time you've mastered a certain level, if you are saying yes to an up level, there'll be a new set of challenges, whether it's walking through fear, whether it's having to trust yourself more. And those challenges will often come with outer experiences. And so I've had many of those outer experiences, and they always come with a lesson and an opportunity. And you might say, oh no, here we go again. Oh my goodness, I just had an accident. Oh my goodness, this is going on. That's going on. There can be many, many, many things. And often they're there to assist you with whatever your up level is, or to offer you a lesson. And so these are opportunities to embrace, because as you move through the experience, you can actually change the energy of it, and you can change the way you master things. You change creation as you move through these experiences. So these challenges are really to be embraced, and they're also opportunities. But you have to, first of all, you have to know that you're a creator, you're not a victim. If you are still carrying victim energy of any kind, it's easy to say, why is this happening to me? I have no control. He did it, she did it. whatever, and then to fall into that pattern of being a victim. So you first need to be aware, number one, you're a creator, right? What in me invited this to be is the ultimate question of a creator, knowing that you somehow created every experience. And so, what part of you called this in? And then you have to be able to carry that awareness through an experience and have a whole lot of trust that you've got this, right? I've got this. No matter what experience happens in my life, I've got this. And when you're in that place of I've got this, it's a really good place to be. And so I want to give you a couple examples I've had in my life. So a few years back, I was in a car accident and someone had rear-ended me. It was the main drag, like right heading out from town of Boise out into the freeway. So it was like this main spot where everyone travels to leave the city. And there was one final stoplight, and someone came up to it too fast and didn't pay attention and ran right into the back of me. And so we were able to get our cars over to the side of the road. And somehow I was having a really good day. So it was odd that you know, a car accident showed up. And I was floating on this energy of life is really good and I've got this. And sure enough, bam, in the back of my car. My car was totaled. So it was a pretty good bump. Um, we pulled the cars over to the side of the road, and the gal that hit me, was on the verge of a panic attack. And I walked over to her and helped to calm her down and helped her to find her insurance cards. And I went back to my car. I called the police department, and the police showed up, and had found my insurance cards too. And he was talking to me through the window while I was trying to get my insurance card, giving him the whole story. At the same time, I was calming down the lady who had run into me. And it ended up being this really calm, fluid experience, which isn't a typical experience when there's been a car accident. Usually there's a lot of panic and a lot of adrenaline. And I carried this energy through it somehow of like, it's okay, I've got this. There's a higher reason for this. Something good will come out of this. Whatever it is that keeps you in that state of trusting yourself and trusting the universe. So um, it turns out that they ended up totaling my car, and it really wasn't so bad that it should have been totaled. Um, but it was cheaper for them to total it, I guess. And it turns around that I had a dream car that I had wanted, and at the time couldn't afford that. And I was $6,000 short of getting this dream car that I wanted. And I had my father say, "Oh, well, I'll send you the money." And so in the end of this whole experience, I ended up with the new car that I had always wanted through an accident. And there's gifts and accidents. So as a medical intuitive, that's what I assist people with, is to find the gifts in whatever illnesses they may have in their body, or stresses they may have in their body, or traumas that they went through, because usually all of those have some sort of gift that needs to be uncovered to release whatever it is. And an accident is really a pattern of an accident stops things. If you think about a car accident, right, it's just a drastic stop in the pattern of your life. And that's what accidents do, whether it's a break of a leg or an arm or a fall, whatever it might be, your pattern in your life gets immediately stopped. And now you're being asked to tend to yourself in a different new way. And so if you can stop and figure out, what is the pattern that hasn't been serving me, you can figure out the gift of whatever that accident called forth. And for me, being rear-ended, right? Rear-ended by the car. Your car is a symbol, really, of your physical vehicle that you get around in. Well, your body is your physical vehicle that you move through life in. And getting rear-ended is the root chakra. And I've had many light workers actually have strong root chakra challenges because it's really about feeling safe to be the truth of who you are. And that is the message of the root chakra. And so when I got rear-ended there, it was a message saying it's time to break this pattern of not feeling safe for being who you really are. And it's time to ride around, to drive in a new vehicle, to ride in a new vehicle. So that was one of my experiences of it could have turned out completely different than that. It could have turned out that I wouldn't have had, a new vehicle to drive in or whatever. I could have been hurt or any of those things, but it didn't. And it was the energy that I held as I moved through the experience. And it takes staying out of fear, number one. It takes trust and a higher awareness that you're a creator and that everything and anything that happens to you, you can move through it. You've got what it takes. And if you don't have what it takes or you don't think you have what it takes, you'll be guided and shown what you need in that moment. That there's always an infinite source of wisdom and inspiration that will inspire you to know what to do. And so I want to share um, one more example of this. And this was in a recent example for me. I was involved in an organization type thing where I paid a fee each month to be along with it. And at some point, I decided, gee, I'm paying a lot of money, and this organization is all about, giving and helping others. And it seems funny. It doesn't seem right for me anymore to pay to give. This is a pattern that's maybe not good for me. Should I remove myself or should I say something about this? And I stood up and I took a stand. But before I took a stand, it was this questioning of am I clear on this? Am I doing the right thing? Should I really do this? And the knowing inside of my questioning was, well, if I'm making a wrong choice, I know that I have what it takes to move through it. I know I have the awareness, I know I have the wisdom that I can correct it if need be. And so it turned out that the experience absolutely backfired on me. I got kicked out of the organization and many other things as a result of it. And it led me into a pattern of oh, I messed up. Oh, how can I trust myself? Oh, self-flagellation, beating myself up. And I'd realized that this was a pattern that I'd had through many, many of my life choices. Whenever I'd made a decision and it didn't turn out the way I wanted, I would go through this pattern of woulda, shoulda, coulda, and how can I trust myself and where is my guidance? And how can I ever speak my truth again? Because look what happened when I spoke my truth. And I caught all of that. And I went into a deep amount of forgiveness over all of that and journaled about it. I mean, I am very conscious to look at any of these emotional things that happened to me to find the gift and to clear whatever it was. And I saw and fully realized the gifts in all of it and healed a huge, huge pattern of long time standing, self-judgment. And the experience completely turned around in a whole new way, and I was invited back again and with benefits, and the whole experience shifted. And anytime you can shift an experience, um, for the benefit in a good way, you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping everyone because we're all one, and all that energy the old got transmuted and the new was recreated, so you're helping all of creation. So it's a great way to know, first of all, that you're a creator, and with the release of fear and trust, you can move through any circumstance. It's just the absolute trust that you will know what to do, and if you don't have it in you to know what will do, you trust that that guidance will come somewhere, and you know which place to select it from, because sometimes you get answers from everywhere and you're like, who do I listen to? So it's a knowing that you know. um, I wanted to pick a one card of clarity for today, as we're all coming out of this fabulous solar eclipse energy and still riding on it, or not even riding on it. Some people are probably going through a lot of transmutation right now, a lot of releasing of the past, a lot of emotional stuff from it as well. So um, there'll be a there's always healing after these moments, and sometimes it takes a few days to process through, and then a new light shines behind that. Okay, so I'm just going to ask, what it is that all who are listening, watching now needs to know, and all that'll be watching later. Self-ascension, oops, it's not showing up very well. Authenticity, not showing up very well. It's the authenticity card. And the authenticity card is really what this solar eclipse was really all about. It was a saying yes to your greater, higher truth, which is your authenticity. Okay, self-ascension 7. Freedom cannot be granted to you by a government, a country, a friend, or a relative. Freedom is discovered through accepting the truth of yourself beyond the energies of doubt and fear. True leadership is a benevolent energy that embraces the good of the whole outside of a self. This priority is void of egoic interference or, or priority. Wearing the crown of your authentic expression of divine mastery presence in form is a gift. The opening of the doorway to your infinite expression of love in action. Accept the crown of authenticity. Soar with the eagles beyond the limits of this world. You are free, and it is your time. Fabulous card. Okay, everyone. Well, go forward this week and continue to put your dreams and everything that you put together during this solar eclipse and this new moon. I'm sure you're feeling the newness. um, Take it into action, verbalize it, talk about it, write about it, post it, do whatever you need to do to anchor it in by the end of the month, so that that is sealed as your new. And I hope you all have a fabulous week. Namaste.